friends, it's Running Kimono. So today's video, we're going to be talking about an update with the Bath & Body Works semi-annual sale for the summer of 2020. Now, I made a video about a week ago talking about, some thoughts, theories, etc. Because nothing was really firm coming from Bath & Body Works. But I have talked to friends, especially friends who live in Ohio, and they seem to have a better handle on things. Michigan, recently the whole state was reopened. Where I live up in northern Michigan, our state was reopened about a week and a half ago. But our Bath & Body Works is still in fact closed. So I'm going to talk about, just the update and the information that I have, and just how I'm going to proceed with this. I know that a lot of you follow me here just for Bath & Body Works information, and just some information what I have and how it's been going into these stores and the changes, etc. With everything considered that's been happening in the world lately. So I have a very good friend who lives in Columbus, Ohio. And last weekend, her store was opened and raring to go. And they actually had everything up for the semi-annual sale, the posters, the 75% off. And she told me that specifically they're very, very pushy to get you to wash your hands, sanitize your hands when you walk in the store. Only a certain amount of people are allowed in the store. And the big bins that we are accustomed to seeing are no longer. It's just a display like this where you can grab something. It's not those bins with all the stuff. So, because it would be almost impossible to sanitize an entire bin, but a display like this might be a little easier. And she also noticed that they had a whole host of candles that were like $10 after the 50% off and all the magic of the semi-annual sale. So if you are living in Ohio, you might want to check to see if your store is open. And if you're a huge fan of Bath & Body Works, you might be able to move on some of these sales a lot quicker. Now, typically what they do is they send us a mailer, which is something like this. This is the one from last year. Now, I know that some people have received in the mail. I have not. A 20% off your order coupon, and then one coupon for a free item up to $7.50. I know they have a couple different hand sanitizers, like sprays and that sort of stuff. And you obviously could get one with that $7.50 coupon. But yeah, there is nothing, though, that's written about the semi-annual sale. That is for sure. Now, if you are living in certain states, I know here in Michigan, we don't have the opportunity to use the Bath & Body Works app, but they have an app that tracks all of your rewards. They give you, a reward on your birthday and then like a 10 off of 30. You might want to check the state that you're living in, and then it might be advantageous to download this app and get extra savings for a semi-annual sale. But again, I know here in Michigan it's a no, but if you go to Ohio, it's a big yes. So just a little food for thought. If the 20% off is not enough for you and you want extra savings, it might be worth downloading that app if it's working in your state. So the rumor on the street is that on Monday, June the 8th, so that is right around the corner, at stores where the states can have their Bath & Body Works open, it's happening. That is going to be the unofficial date of the semi-annual sale. From all the grumblings and the whispers I've heard online, that is supposed to be the date. And typically it runs for a month, so it'll go into early July. I'm thinking they're really going to make a huge push for this on online on their website. And that's where a lot of us will probably, in the comfort of your home, just shop the sale that way. I would really love if they offered free shipping, but that has not been the case the last couple of months. And definitely, I can't stress it enough, guys. Google your store location, call ahead to make sure that they're open, especially for some of you that, if you might be living in like southern Michigan and you're going over to like Indiana to a Bath & Body Works and then you drive 2 hours to see that it's closed, I've heard that a lot in the comments. Call ahead to make sure that they're open. Google, double, triple check. Making that call might be the smartest thing, especially if you're driving a long ways. And that being said, there's 50 store closures. When these closures are to take place in the list, I still haven't seen. There's supposed to be one up in Canada closing too, so it'll be like 49 in the US and one up in Canada. So that being said, can't stress it enough to call ahead to make sure, because I'm wondering if the Bath & Body Works near me is actually closed as well, because they haven't opened, and where I'm living, it's been open for the last I'm going to say week and a half, almost 2 weeks, and Bath and Body Works is still closed here. So I'm wondering, like, are we on the list? And would they liquidate the stuff or send everything back to head office? Well, that is the question. But yeah, I'm just kind of curious about that too. So calling ahead is probably the smartest thing. Now, for a lot of you that love to shop the sale with coupons, you know, before if you had a coupon that expired, they would always make a concession that you could use it 3 days pre, 3 days post. That ended in February of 2020. I made a video about it months back. So the grace on coupons, well, that is done. Unfortunately, there's also no returns at this time. So, you know, if you had a return or a candle that you didn't like, just hang on to it, guys. They're pretty flexible with their return policy. When things start to get back to normal, I'm very sure that you could bring in a couple and it's not going to be like a crazy thing to do a return. They'll probably just be a-okay fine with you. And I'm also noticing that online orders are still delayed depending what you're buying. I know that hand sanitizers and hand wash is like expedited, but stuff like candles, you could still be waiting. So hopefully they hire more staff to get things moving. Now at the semi-annual sale, what I'm specifically looking for is Easter, Mother's Day, Christmas. Those 3 holidays, especially Easter and Mother's Day, because their doors have been closed. So that being said, I think for a lot of stores where, you know, nobody's been there, there's probably going to be an opportunity to get a lot of stuff. And so that's definitely something that you're going to keep your eyes peeled for. Especially, you know, like Easter, they make the cutest little hand sanitizers, you know, with bunnies and that sort of stuff. If you're trying to stock up on hand sanitizers, you might be able to get a lot on the cheap. And Christmas too, you know, they always have like the nicest candles. That is the time that I really like to stock up because I'm obsessed with their Christmas line of candles. So, you know, just be really, really mindful, guys. If you love the holidays, that's just the time that you're going to be looking for this stuff. And especially if you have like a part of a collection or you missed out on a candle from last winter, or if you bought something that you really fell in love with and you're like, I really want more of you know, said scent, this might be an opportunity to hunt it down and buy it. I know that Bath and Body Works too is a very visual and scent driven store, and the challenges of wearing a mask in the store and then being able to smell this stuff, well, you won't be able to do that. So obviously, if you are a more experienced shopper, or if you're picking up something that you know you really like and it smells great, you know, it's a hit in your house, that's what I would be grabbing, picking up these different scents that you might bring home and be like, I don't really like that. You might have to hang on to it for a month or 2 before you can exchange it, just throwing that also in your back pocket. Obviously, with the sale, the greatest aspect of it is the deep savings. For example, you're picking up an item that's $1, it's down to 25 cents. I'll tell you guys a quick story. I remember the last semi-annual sale being in an outlet mall, because that's what I love to shop, is the outlet malls for the sale, because they seem to have everything and anything there, especially if you're living near a tester market. You might be able to find a lot of unique Bath and Body Works products. Anyhow, they had a huge display of hand sanitizers that were all $1 each. I think I grabbed 2 and called it a day. I mean, like, you know, do you ever have a Bath and Body Works regret? Well, that's definitely one for me. But some of the savings are tremendous, like to even get like a $24 candle down to $10. I mean, if you're a fan of the store, this is a way to really shop the sale on the cheap. So my friend in Ohio described this to me, that they're really limiting the amount of shoppers to enter the store. For her store, which was a massive one, they had like a white barn and just the regular one and just like massive store. I think it was 30 people plus the staff. So they're really counting. And then once 30 people are in the store, there's somebody right at the front who will lock the front door. And until a couple people leave, they will let new people in. And then outside of the store, people are socially distancing. Like they're not like, you know, like neck to neck, trying to get into the store. Everybody's kind of like watching their personal space. And this store, like she was telling me like how they were very militant to wash your hands, sanitize when you walk into the store. Like they're really trying to get you to, you know, hey, check this out, wash your hands right away. And obviously they wanted her to wear a mask, social distance, very friendly staff. Everybody was, you know, smiling under their masks, but it was just one of those things. And I think that if this is not your thing, because you really like to spend some time like looking at stuff and not being in a rush. My friend said she was kind of in a rush. Do the sale online. I think you'd have an easier time just looking at stuff online and enjoying it that way. I think hand sanitizers are going to be a huge part of the sale. I think people are just going to really try and stock up. And I think also hand soap. If you're anything like my household, we have just been eating through the Bath and Body Works hand soaps. And typically, what I love to do is to go to outlets. There's a bunch of different outlets about an hour from my home, about an hour and a half, and I can hit both of them and find the most unique stuff. And sometimes even finding these hand soaps for like $1 or $2, that's just fantastic. So, guys, I can't stress it enough. I think on Sunday, later in the day on Sunday, June the 7th, will we be receiving an email saying semi-annual sale, or on Monday, June the 8th, depending where you're living too, because I know some certain states, they're going to be on a stay-at-home order, lockdown for a really long time. So I think this will be state by state. I know some places they're already doing the semi-annual sale, but here in Michigan, I haven't even heard the whisper of semi-annual sale, and this is like something that a lot of us just really look forward to, and this is our Christmas and birthday and everything wrapped up together. So I'm really hoping, Sunday or Monday, I hear some good news about it. One last thing I want to leave you with is if you are in fact buying candles, to be smart about them. I would buy them, but I would leave them with the lid on. Like, don't bring them home and start sniffing them in your face, just in case somebody who could be sick, who touched them. You never want to chance that sort of thing. I would let them sit for 5 days just to be safe. And that's just me just being kind of paranoid, I guess, but I would just let them sit. I think it's just a smart thing. I think stuff like, like soap or something, that like hand sanitizer that's like, contained, but something like a candle that you can just willingly take off, the lid, I would just be really careful with that. And that being said, guys, be safe out there, and we'll just have to wait and see how this plays out on the 7th and 8th, and fingers and toes crossed that our sale is back. Wouldn't that be so nice? I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.